Alright, YouTube, this is your boy, Drew, here at Politically Black, seriously furious, furiously serious. Ain't too much going on today, so I thought I'd show you guys the YouTube stats. Not subscribed views, 92. Likes versus dislikes, 65. Now, where are all my dislikes coming from? The video that BLM will keep watching, and I love it, I love it. I keep erasing all the black hate. Aw, yeah, look at this. They can't even agree, they can't even disagree to it publicly without being called bigots. And here we are. This is gonna be Black Lives Don't Matter 8. Anti-George Floyd. Join my Minecraft server. Now, this one wasn't hate. He just said he was glad Jacob Blake was alive, and me and this guy Temp, whoever the Temp profile is, probably just a guest account. We just no, like, he didn't think about his kids. Like, nah, he just ran into a car with cops having guns drawn on him. But it's the anti-black hate from the black community. It's the anti-successful black hate from the black community. That's what's keeping the channel going right now, is the YouTube search. When you search BLM and BLDM comes up, they're just watching and getting angry. And then, because my audience retention, I can tell you, you peak right here. Let's see, in the lifetime, let's go back last 7 days. You peak in the first minute of a video. Average view duration, 54 seconds. So that tells me that a lot of the people watching don't watch for the whole content, which tells me I'm also a little boring. I'll get to that in a minute. I don't mind being boring. I can always fix that at any time. I've added catchphrases. I've talked about Project Melody, and y'all had fun with that. But like, where the views are coming from right now, and I'm loving it. I'm actually not in opposition to it. Please continue your anti-black rhetoric about black men who disagree with you. Whether you're white or black-skinned, you're giving me views. You're helping my reach, and this was more than Susan Wojcicki was going to give me, the CEO of YouTube. I've been tagging her on Instagram consistently, over at on my Instagram at AirJamma. I've been tagging her consistently, asking why is a gaming channel intentionally being suppressed where a political channel is not. It's in fact growing openly and rapidly, I would say, comparatively to my other channel. I don't actually put a lot of content on it anymore. You guys are finding old content I made like 6 months ago, a year ago. And I mean, like, that's fine with me. I actually enjoy this a lot, whether you're watching new content, old content, viewed content. I don't care. Watch my stuff, y'all. But what I care about is the anti-black rhetoric. I'll just delete it. Like, no offense to the brothers out there and the niggas out there who think they too smart to get away with bullshit. I see your comments, and trust me, YouTube didn't get them, I did. I seen all your comments. What it shows is black men are scared to think for themselves, other black men. Which that's cool. Your pussification does not affect me personally. It only affects you. The fact you are a weak, well, you're a weak woman in that sense. You cry like a woman. But even sisters are fucking tougher than black men. If they don't fucking agree with an opinion half the time, they just ignore it. And that's tougher than a fucking black man having to say something about everything, I'll tell you what. Now, if you're speaking out and it's because you don't like violence, that's more of a man's thing. Being capable of violence and not wanting to be capable of having to commit an act of violence are two different things that these people ain't understanding. And that's cool. Like, you don't have to understand what actual peace is, but know that people who say they're peaceful and never could kill a fly are not peaceful, they're harmless. And those people are dangerous to lead. Those people are dangerous to let lead. Nancy Pelosi is not dangerous in any way. She is not capable of that. But why is she fit for leadership if she's not capable? We need a leader who could be a little dangerous. That indicates that's a leader who can protect us. That indicates that's a leader who could care about us and take care of us. Lifetime likes versus dislikes, 59.2, 65.2%. Now, if we look at the statistics for May, hadn't really talked too much about BLM. June hadn't really talked too much about BLM. Starts talking about BLM in July. Boom, hit in August. You see, so now they're downvoting me, but the downvotes still bring people to my page to re-upvote because YouTube knows the content's not that unpopular. Now, with the gaming content stuff, that's just channel suppression. MatPat's talked about it. A lot of big game name channels have talked about it. I'm not here to do that. I'll talk about that on my gaming channel that, again, is not family appropriate per se. But, again, also not monetized. I don't believe in monetization on YouTube. I used to want to monetize and make all the money. Honestly, you won't. You still need to create a brand website and all this and merch and all that. But what I'm here to express is I'm tired of the black on black anti-hate, the anti-love rhetoric, really, is the hateful anti-love black on black rhetoric that, oh, this black man didn't agree with me, he's less black than me. Or this man is less black than me, and therefore that's why he can't agree with me. I think that's hateful, and I think y'all should go kick it with Umar Johnson, who I personally would believe should be as fit to, like, die under the jailhouse, getting raped. Like, that's just me. I don't think Umar Johnson's a good person by any means. The discord and the hatred he's sown for his own people. They lighter black than me. Let's talk about your slave master ancestor. Right, but he won't talk about that one. Umar Johnson. Because his ancestor was a slave, he said, but he won't talk about the other ancestor who was the slave owner. You have to understand there was a two-ended sword to that side of history. Like, that wasn't, oh, I was born of a slave. No, you was born of a slave and a master. You had a light-skinned ancestor at one point, or a lighter-skinned ancestor at one point. See, people think that melanin only works one way, that it lighten, and it can also darken too. If lightly melanated people mix with lightly melanated or darker people, the skin tone gets darker and darker over time. It's just kind of how genetics work. Yeah, if you were born of a slave, chances are you weren't born of two slaves. You were born of a slave and a slave master. If that's where your ancestry heralds from, it's most likely not in America. Less than 10% people are of slave DNA. Shit, that's also less than 1% of people in America are related to slave owners. But almost the whole entire Democratic Party is okay with slavery as long as it's not on our shore. As long as it is at the hands of the Muslims and the East African slave trade, slavery is a fine alternative. But see, Nancy Pelosi needs y'all to vote with her, not against her, so she won't say that outright. She won't say the hateful shit she just thinks, and that's unfortunate. You know, I'm hateful towards some of these people, but I express it. And I'm angry towards some of them, but I express it with my words, not my actions. My actions could tend to that violence point, but I try never to be there, because violence weakens your message. I don't believe yelling will always weaken the message, but I think violence always does. I think yelling can convey frustration. I think yelling can only weaken a message if it's misconveyed sometimes. It depends on what you're yelling to. If you're yelling about bathrooms, your message was meant to be misconveyed. But, yeah, just remember, guys, when I'm talking about black lives that don't matter, I'm talking about mine. Because I don't matter to the black community. When I'm talking about black lives that don't matter, I'm talking about the black hate that's expressed on my YouTube towards me for just not agreeing. Towards Candace Owens for just being different. Like, I'm really sorry that y'all really feel that Trump is just a racist because CNN told y'all to. Most y'all can't even read the headlines. I'm sorry, the high illiteracy rate in America is held up mostly by the black community, so my bad. Breathe. It's got 2 E's. I learned that recently from the black community. But our high academic marks, our low crime rates, why aren't we just the stars of this nation? Why aren't we upheld in glory? That's really weird, isn't it? How you commit 30% of the crime and you're not the favored people in the nation. What